the #1 reason college students drop out of school is money problems. I'm Dave Ramsey, and I want to welcome you to the most important class you'll ever take. It's time to learn how to really make it on your own. You've got to know how to create a realistic budget, find bargains, buy a home, get a deal on a car, invest for your future, and give to people in need. We're going to cover all of that and more right here in this classroom. I've been teaching this material for 20 years, and during that time, I've raised 3 great kids that have lived and breathed these principles every day growing up. In fact, you'll be seeing a lot more of my daughter, Rachel Cruz, as we work through this stuff together.
Hey guys, I'm so excited you're here. Just a couple years ago, I was sitting right where you are now. College is a lot of fun, but every day you get one step closer to the real world. That is why I'm so passionate about this material. If you put this stuff into practice, your whole life could look totally different from here on out. Think about what you could do, where you could go, what you could start if you didn't have any debt payments when you graduate. Imagine the wealth that is waiting for you. I'm so thankful I learned these principles early on, and that I was able to graduate college without any debt at all. No loans, no car payments, and no credit cards. Trust me, the freedom of getting out of school with nothing holding you back is so worth it.
All right, guys, here's the deal. Rachel and I are going to do this together, and we're going to tell you everything you need to know. We're going to show you how money really works. We can teach you how to budget, how to save, how to invest. We can lay it all out for you. But if you don't put this material into practice, it won't work. You're the key. You're the secret weapon. You're the one that gets to choose right now, today, whether or not you want to win with money for the rest of your life. If that sounds like a good plan to you, then let's get started.
While 96% of college students are determined to finish college,
only 46% think they have enough money to do so.
Out of the college students that drop out,
80% say financial trouble was the main reason.
Only 1 in 5 college students have taken a personal finance class before entering college.
83% of college students have a credit card.
3 out of 5 students with credit cards will max them out the first year they have them.
College students are the #1 targets for identity theft.
1 out of 4 has had their personal information compromised by a security breach.
Recently, more young adults have filed bankruptcy than graduated college.
When I graduated from college, my net worth was a half a 6-pack of Red Bull. I was so broke I couldn't pay attention. My wife Sharon and I, we got married. We were learning about life starting from nothing. I started buying and selling real estate, and I got rich, at least by a kid from Antioch, Tennessee standards. By the time I was 26, I had about $4 million worth of real estate, a little over $1 million net worth, and I was making about $250,000 a year, $20,000 a month. That's rich where I came from. And that's how we started off our lives. But I'd done a lot of stupid stuff I'm gonna teach you not to do. And that included borrowing a whole bunch of money and having a house of cards that basically fell. The bank called our notes, and we spent the next 2.5 years of our life losing everything we owned. We were sued a bazillion times, we were foreclosed on, and finally, with a brand new baby and a toddler, we were bankrupt. Our marriage was hanging on by a thread, and we had to start completely over. Well, that brand new baby is standing here beside me, and she's not a brand new baby anymore, because that was a lot of years ago. At the bottom of that mess, we determined we were going to learn how money really works. And so we started growing from nothing wealth. And we started applying the principles that we're going to teach you. As we were doing that, Rachel and her brother and sister were also growing up. So they kind of got the curse and the benefit of being in our house while we were doing all of that. What are some of your memories growing up in the middle of all that?
Well, I always remember having to work and then you get paid. We were never given allowance. So you work, you get paid, you don't work, you don't get paid. And having that ingrained in me since I couldn't remember. You know, and even one of my first memories of all of this is getting an American Girl doll for Christmas. I remember we got it, and I remember looking through the magazine a couple months later and seeing furniture for her and thinking, oh, I want that, you know, and telling you and Mom, and you guys were just honest and said, okay, we can't afford that. But then a couple weeks later, we went to the flea market and we found the little wicker furniture
those little American
sets.
Doll chairs cost more than like a real chair.
Well, that's how they market. That's how they market. No, but we went and found pretty much the same exact thing at the flea market and bought it. I remember and spray painting it white and making a little wicker furniture for her. So those kind of memories have just been ingrained in who I am today.
And it's stuff you're going to get to teach as we go through this process. So that's pretty important.
Absolutely.
Finally, you head off to college. What was college like in your situation?
In my situation, college was kind of everything I thought it would be. I feel like there were no big surprises, but I think the thing that surprised me the most is going and taking all the money stuff that I learned from you all and doing it actually. And going to college and seeing my own friends make mistakes, seeing my own friends sign up for credit cards or get a car loan. And I didn't expect this, but something within me kind of started bursting. I just felt passionate already with, no, don't do that, don't do that. And I didn't realize how important money is until I graduated college. Now they're stuck with all those payments. I mean, I knew more people with student loans than jobs, and that's just the culture we live in today.
Now, we made you guys learn how to do a written budget and keep your checkbook while you were in high school, before you went off to college. And then we gave them a certain amount of money per month to live on in college. And oddly enough, all three of our kids made it all the way through without breaking that budget monthly. They didn't call home asking for money. And the weird thing was, as a dad looking at that, I had a lot of pride in you guys because you actually did live on it, and we didn't have a lot of whining and carrying on. And my perception was that you had the skill set when you went to live on that budget, and then when we put you on a budget, it was just like, well, of course, this is the way life is.
Just natural.
What did you experience? Did you have that experience of living like no one else, really your childhood, then later you get to live like no one else? The sense of peace that versus your currently newly married friends out of college and what they're facing?
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing the stress that money has on people that have just graduating or even newlywed couples, and being a newlywed couple right out of college, we're kind of just comparing our situation to others and just the fights that they have, the things that they're not able to do and all of this, where through high school and even through college, I've saved. We're able to pay cash for things. I mean, yeah, we're not living this extraordinary life, but there's freedom in that. There's a piece of, wow, this is something we're not, at our wits' end about constantly. It's not something that's stressing us out because we have money saved, we're giving our money, we're spending it wisely, and that's just something that's not normal.
It's woven into every part of who you've become.
Oh, absolutely.
And where you've ended up in this process. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of Winston. You guys have done a great job, and you guys can be where they are in just a few years. You can graft in and be an adopted part of our family through this process and take on these attributes, and they'll bode well for your future. They'll take you to places that you never thought you could go, but it's going to require, like we always say, that it's up to you. And so, work is an element here because income is half of the equation. There's the income part of the equation and the outgo part of the equation. So that's woven into all of these discussions and our life patterns as well that have brought us to where we are.